Hi friends, hello, hi, how are you? I hope you guys are having an amazing day today. So today, we're doing something a little bit more drama-y, a little bit more controversial. Man, there's been a lot happening lately that have been causing me to make more of these types of drama videos, and honestly it's been interesting, like the different things that are happening. But today we're gonna be talking about the Ace family. If you don't know who the Ace family are, I'm gonna start this video off by saying this whole entire video is very much low-hanging fruit, okay? If you want a reason to dislike the Ace family, pick one. Like, it's not hard. They are so shrouded in scandal, and I honestly have to question their morals a lot. For some reason, even though this is such a low-hanging fruit video because a lot of people don't like them, but even though that's the case, a lot of people also don't know who they are or know about them or know what they do on their channel. And honestly, I'm one of the people, I feel like people either feel one of two ways. They either think don't know, don't care, which is fine. I'm one of the types of people that likes to know kind of the bad things that are happening, especially here on YouTube, because this is like a place I love. I like to know what's going on so that way I can be more informed on the topic. So if their video happens across me in my recommended, I'm not clicking on it. So I just wanted to break down, kind of go through a brief review of the Ace family's history and what has happened with them, but then also at the end talk about the very recent things that have been happening that have been making people progressively more and more angry, annoyed, mad, just like they've been kind of a hot topic lately because of a couple of things they did. If that sounds good to you, let's get into it. So I would go ahead and argue that the very first reason, and probably in my opinion the most prominent reason to dislike the Ace family, is the very obvious and blatant exploitation of their children. Some people don't feel this way about family vlogging, and that's okay. You're allowed to have a different opinion. I actually have an entire video about why I hate family vloggers, why I think it's exploitation of children, and why I think because it's such a new thing that has been happening for the last few years, there is not enough regulations in place to protect children who are on the internet in the way that the Ace family's children are. We have two daughters. They're both really adorable children, obviously. And honestly, I think this is the biggest critique of them I have, is the fact that they very obviously use their children for clickbait, for views. They obviously are like coaching the children on what to do and say. I think their oldest daughter is only 2 years old. And the thing I worry about with stuff like that, despite the obvious morality issues one might have with making your children the sole source of your income, because if the kids weren't on the channel, they wouldn't have a channel. So with making the children the sole source of your income, I do have morality issues with that, especially when the kids are like 2 years old. But this is not a new thing. We've seen kids who are child actors who have been supporting their families and doing similar things to this. However, there were regulations in place for those children. There's no regulations for YouTubers. There's just not. Nobody is saying a 2-year-old can't work more than 10 hours, more than 6 hours. And also it's kind of like what constitutes work. It's a really gray area. If they take their children to Disneyland and they're filming them and that's part of their job, does their family vacation time now also count for filming time? I just think family vlogging gets people in a lot of gray areas, and I also think at the end of the day, the entire livelihood of you and your family's lives should not be placed on the shoulders of your literal toddlers, you know? It just feels wrong to me. It feels really, really icky. This is not just an Ace family problem. I want to make that very clear. I just think this is the most obvious reason why the title of this video, I'm pretty sure, is going to be why people don't like the Ace family. I think that's the most obvious reason. I don't think it's a singular Ace family problem though. Family vloggers do very, very well on YouTube, and there are thousands that make videos similarly to the Ace family, not as extreme, and we'll get into that, but they make similar videos like day to day the lives of their children. And I do think it's something that YouTube as a whole needs to have a bigger conversation about. That's, again, I have a whole video on this, you can go watch it, I'll link it down below, but that's the first issue. The next problem a lot of people have with the Ace family is the blatant manipulation of their audience. It's not really a secret that I think they are at 14 million subscribers, which is nuts. And out of all of those people, I think it's not really a secret that the majority of their following are kids. If you look at pictures from their charity, I'll explain that in a second, but you look at the pictures from their charity basketball game, it's kids, you know? The people that support them and watch them are children. What's the most easily manipulated population? I would argue it's pretty much children. They are very, very easily manipulated, and I think Austin and Catherine, who are the parents of the Ace family, know that and definitely play into that. There's there's also very much a fake relatability kind of aspect to this as well, where they definitely try to be relatable, even though nothing about their lives is relatable to their 10-year-old followers. Like nothing. I'm gonna talk about their new house because it's kind of in the new controversy, but they've been building this new house, and while doing that process, they've been like, oh man.
Don't you just hate when the $6,000 lights you ordered came in and they're the wrong color?
We had to reorder them.
Oh my god, like that's literally the stuff they talk about. And to make it seem like, guys, feel bad for me. Like, I'm so relatable. My mega mansion has the wrong colored lights. Like, what? Like, this is what they complain. Like, it just, Drew Gooden, who I love, did a fantastic video on this whole idea of relatableness and trying to relate to people that they just can't relate to anymore. Like, to an extreme extent. Like, most YouTubers, when they blow up and they get a lot of money, there does become an aspect of no longer being relatable because money does change things. But the Ace family is like an extreme example of this, and Drew Gooden has a really good video on it. And I think that's another reason people don't like them, is because when they started, they were just like a young couple living in like a little apartment doing like little videos, and now they've turned into this like monster. Sounds harsh, but it's basically a monster. Like, they've turned into this crazy family that's just like done all these crazy things. The other thing about them is they have had multiple scandals. I talked earlier about the fake charity basketball thing. I guess they like had a charity basketball game. They said they were gonna give away 100. This is the best of my knowledge. Again, I'll link information on this if you wanna go in depth, but this is kind of an overview in case you don't know who they are. They had a charity basketball game where they said they were going to be giving away $100,000 for the event. And they said it was all going, like the proceeds for the event were all gonna go to charity. And then only like $75,000 got given to charity. And that's still a lot of money. Nobody's discounting that that's not a ton of money, because it is. I mean, that's really good money. But it brought into question where the missing $25,000 went, where the money from the ticket sales went, because some people looked into the actual numbers of how much money they made and how much it would cost to run the event, and it didn't add up. Like, nothing was adding up. There's a video of Austin trying to explain the numbers situation, but people have looked into it, and again, the numbers don't add up to what should have been donated and what wasn't. So basically, based on people doing the math, they pretty much profited off of a charity basketball game. So that whole thing is also really, really sketchy. There's more lies. There is basically a lot of proof that is alluding to the fact that they faked a robbery. They faked a break-in. They posted a video where the thumbnail was like their little daughter looking, it's sad. Like, it was like their little daughter looking scared and like them looking shocked, and there was all this broken glass on the ground, and they basically went on to talk about a break-in that had happened. But when people started piecing things together, again, things weren't adding up. I'm pretty sure there was never like a documented police report actually filed, which people found to be very suspect because there were police at the home, and the Ace family had said they were filling out a report. A lot of people said that what the police were doing was not proper protocol, and that it was possible that those were actors. There was a lot of speculation about why their security system didn't work, because obviously they're, you know, millionaires, so you'd think they'd have a security system to protect their home. I don't like to think that this is true. It feels so wrong to do something like that, and it feels so manipulative. I want to think that that's true, but there is a lot of evidence that would claim it's true. I think even if it's not true, the fact that their first reaction to seeing their door, their front door, because their front door like got shattered, maybe it was their back door, one of their big doors got shattered, I think it's pretty telling that their first reaction was to grab their one-year-old daughter, make her pose for a thumbnail in front of the absolutely smashed door, and then film the whole process instead of just being like, oh my god, my house got broken in. You know what I mean? Like, either way, even if it's real or if it's not, it speaks to their character that they would either, one, fake a robbery, or two, instead of being, I don't know, upset like a normal family would be, like scared for safety, like instead of that, they were just like, we're gonna film it. Clickbait, and I'm pretty sure they definitely put ads in the video. The next big scandal that happened I think like a few months ago. I did a video on that one as well. It was I'll give you like the summary. Austin basically posted on his Snapchat story him buying what is the word? That is not penis. It was a penis shaped lollipop and bought it for a little girl. It was, I guess, Catherine's, the mom's younger sister, bought it for her and was making really inappropriate jokes, putting it on Snapchat basically. It was really inappropriate, and honestly I have a whole video discussing my thoughts on that one, so I'll keep it brief with this one, but that was the one where it was like, what is wrong with you? Like, you've lost all sense of reality, I think, if you think that that's an acceptable and okay thing to do with a literal child. And I mean, I think I heard Angelica Oles talking about it, and she was like, sure, that's like objectively funny. Like, when you're with your family, like kids do stuff like that all the time, and it's like objectively like, oh, haha, silly you. But like, you don't buy the candy for them. You don't have them carry it around the mall and be like, oh, it's your little secret. And you don't post it to your millions and millions and millions of Snapchat followers. Nothing about that is okay? Nothing. So that was one of the more recent things that had happened. After that happened, they actually took somewhat, I don't know if it was because of the lollipop thing, but I'm pretty sure that was the catalyst for it. They took somewhat of a break. And when they came back, they did a 3-part documentary series. This is the moment where I really started to just like be like, what is wrong with you people? It was literally a 3-part series about all of the different houses that they had lived in, how they started from the bottom, now they're here. I think that was supposed to be the point. They literally started at like their first little apartment, and then they went to their nicer apartment, and then they went to their first house, and then they went to their other mansion. And it was kind of the whole conversation was how they didn't feel secure, they didn't feel safe in their own homes, they had fans constantly showing up at their house and how upsetting that was. And honestly, like the first episode, I watched it and I almost kind of felt bad for them, because I was like, man, that does probably suck. Their address just got leaked, and then people started showing up, and like YouTubers do struggle with that, like lots of YouTubers do. I can't imagine how scary and unsafe that would make me feel. Like the mom, Catherine, talked about having to, you know, walk with that in the house without the curtains closed, and like that is really scary. And they talked about security issues they had of people trying to come and like fight them and like all these things, right? And I was like, yeah, damn, that does suck. Like, wow. I can't even say what I'm about to say because it's so nutty to me that like this is what happened. And you're watching it and you're like kind of feeling bad for them. You're like, man, like this poor little girl, like they're very full of themselves, and it's very obvious, like their egos are just so incredibly high. But like at the same time, it's like, wow, like, you know, at a personal level, I can feel bad for you. After talking about all of this, after talking about the security issues they had, after talking about feeling like they had no privacy because people knew the location of their home and whatnot, they literally showed a layout and location of their brand new mega mansion. I can't make this up. Literally the layout, they showed like an aerial view of what their home looked like and the surrounding area so everybody would know where it was. Like they built a freaking fortress, like a castle on top of this giant hill, and now everyone, at the end of the video where they talked about being upset that people knew where they lived,
What?
the whole entire documentary that was supposed to be, I think, like a Shane Dawson style to like rehabilitate them, it was literally just to announce that they are so rich that they bought 2 homes and that were next to each other and are combining them to be a mega mansion. And I think the thing that really kills me about that is their home is the size of a mall, okay? Like it's freaking massive. It's so huge. They literally had to put like outside walkways so they could get from one part of the house to the other easily because it's so big. Okay, they have like literally 2 of everything because their homes are, it's huge, okay? So they have this huge home. They were like, we have worked so hard, we have done so much. They've only been on YouTube for like 2 years, first of all. They got this success so fast. To lie and act like, first of all, I watched the house tour, just so you guys know. For the part that I'm gonna talk about next, I watched the house tour because I was genuinely curious, like, what did they do with this gigantic mammoth-sized home, okay? Like, what did they do with this? And I find it so interesting, right? That the entire house is built for like the parents and everything. They live in a mansion that is so big, it's literally the size of a mall. And their daughters, for some reason, are sharing a bedroom, and their playroom is the size of like my office. It's like the tiniest room in the whole house is dedicated to their 2 children, who, if we're being honest, are the only reason that these people have had any ounce of success, is the fact that they have very cute children who are apparently willing to do whatever their parents need them them to do. Like, that is literally the only reason they have success. Second those kids don't want to film anymore, their channel is screwed. Like, to act like it's because they have worked so hard and they hustled and they grinded and they really like worked for it is a lie. They manipulated their children audience. They used their own children. They exploited their own children for their own personal gain. And now the payoff is huge because they live in a mammoth-sized home that literally their kids can't even play with because everything's white. Like, where do their kids play? What do their kids do in the tiny little playroom? I'm so confused by the whole thing. I can't imagine being a mom, and not to judge, but I can't imagine being like a mom or a dad and being like, yeah, I think the aesthetic should be, everything should be just white. White and light gray. Really easy things to stain for, you know, our 2-year-old. I just can't, okay? So to get into what people are mad about currently, kind of goes along with the house tour. So they posted their house tour and it was over an hour long. It had 18 ads and I think it's currently sitting at about 5 million views. I did the math based on what I make per like whatever views, and they make even more money than I do because they're in the premium, and they easily made, this is not a joke, they easily made probably about $8 million off of that one video. I'm not kidding. If everybody who watched that video watched it all the way through with all of the ads, they literally made $8 million. And even if they didn't watch all the way through, they probably made somewhere in like the $5 million range. Like, they just made so much, whatever, that's besides the point, but I just think it's so nuts that people who I truly think lack so many morals are able to make money that easily. Because it wasn't even like good production. Like, you couldn't even see the house. They were just walking around with the camera pointed at them. Like, it wasn't even a good video. Anyway, so during the house tour video, Austin, the dad, who I think probably is my least favorite out of he just seems so incredibly fake to me and so incredibly just seems so disingenuous. Like, everything he does on camera just seems so disingenuous to me, and it's just nuts. He basically showed that he had a jet ski in his pool. I think it's supposed to be a flex because he has like a big pool. I don't know. And so in the video, he starts zooming around on the jet ski, going around, flipping around on the jet ski in circles, just doing it. That was like, everyone was like, that's kind of a weird flex, but like, okay. But then we found out that as a result of him continually riding the jet ski in his pool, he has started mudslides. This is not a joke. This is completely real. He has started himself by jet skiing in his pool, which is so just dumb. He has started mudslides that have ruined his neighbors that live beneath him, because I think that's a really like fitting example. He just doesn't care about anyone else. He thinks he's at the top and doesn't care about the people beneath him. His neighbors that live below him, because they live on a hill, it is ruining their grapes and their vineyard that they have beneath it because he is causing massive mudslides. Somebody posted a video on Twitter, but it's literally like a waterfall coming off of the cliff of just mud sliding onto the grapes, causing all of these huge issues. Like, it's actually a problem, especially in a place like California. They already have enough issues. I guess Austin has been told that this is a problem and that what he's doing is causing this, and he just keeps doing it because it's fun for his YouTube channel. And I guess in a most recent video, he had his, I think she's like 6 months old. They have a really little like baby who's so cute. She's like the chubbiest, cutest little baby on the planet. It makes me so sad what her life is. I guess he had her on the jet ski in the pool, just like arm wrapped around her, zooming around on a jet ski, which is, you know, blatantly endangering your child for views, but like, that's fine. I guess that we're fine with that on YouTube now. Whatever. So all of that has been happening. And the big issue online is that basically they've been liking shady tweets on Twitter, basically being like, this family did nothing wrong. And like, Catherine was like,
I'm just smiling at the haters. We're just trying to mind our business. They just want to hate, so I'm just gonna smile at them.
And it's like, well, you're ruining their livelihood. So, and you don't care. That's like the worst part about it. I think the worst part is he didn't just do it once and then was like, oh, my bad. Like, I'm a millionaire. Let me pay to fix this. Let me pay you the damages. You know what I mean? Like what a normal person would do. He's like, nah, I'm a millionaire. I'm gonna keep ruining your stuff and I'm gonna keep doing this cool thing that I like to do, which is a super huge inconvenience to other people. It's just like, I can't. I feel like I wanted to make this video because no matter what, they're at 14 million subscribers. This is not going to do anything to them. They have their child fan base that is just obsessed with them. Nothing is going to change that, okay? But I do feel like because with the Ace family, a lot of these incidences are months apart, and because of the way the drama cycle kind of works here on YouTube, you kind of forget like the little, I'm sure I forgot stuff in this video, like little shady things or little bad things that they have done over the years. But I feel like when you see it all in one video, totally compiled into one of like all of the things they have done that have led them to this moment in time with the waterfall, the mudslides, like all of the things they have done, I feel like it does show what kind of people they are, especially considering they've only been on YouTube for like 2 or 3 years. Like they're young. They're like a young channel. Like this is nuts. You know, to close, obviously they're gonna be fine. They are. I hate when that's the outcome. I hate when it's like, oh, they're just gonna be fine. Nothing's gonna happen from them doing this horrible thing. But they are, like, realistically. But I always encourage people, as far as like what we can do as people watching this video who are upset about what they're doing, just like maybe I guess I'm legally not allowed to tell you to not watch their channel. So legally I'm telling you I can't tell you not to watch their channel.
Legally.
I guess that's against, my channel could get taken down. So I'm not telling you to not watch their channel, but I am saying pretend, hypothetically, allegedly, that they don't exist, okay? That's always the advice I give. Just vote with your views, vote with your wallet. Maybe think next time before you hypothetically were to go buy their merch. Maybe think next time before you hypothetically buy something through their undisclosed sponsorships, which is something I didn't even touch on, but they do so many undisclosed sponsorships to their child audience, it's sickening. Yeah, that's basically how I feel about that. I love you guys so much. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please like and subscribe, or just like, or just subscribe, or do neither. Honestly, just so happy you're watching me. Thank you so much for being here. My merch, my social media, and everything I'm wearing on my face will be linked down below, along with a link to register to vote. I don't know what that was, but you can go vote. You can go vote, like, not right now, but you can go like register to vote right now. And if you register right now, that means that you will have the ability to make your voice be heard in your local, state, and federal elections, which is huge, especially considering the social and political climate we are in right now. That's like a really big deal, and you should be taking part in making your voice be heard. The other thing I will say is, if you aren't from the United States and you can't use that link to register to vote, make sure you're staying aware with what's going on in your country. Just like use your voice in any way you can to make sure that things are happening that are positive in your country. I know Canada's about to have a big election. Britain's going through whatever they're going through. So just make sure you are using your voice in a positive way. I think that's it for me. I love you guys, and I will see you in the next one. Bye! Oh, hello. It's editing me. Bet you thought you'd never see me again. Guess what? Here I am. If you've made it this far in the video, congratulations. You're now entitled to some bonus footage. This is genuinely just a reaction while I was filming this video. There was like a really, really loud bang right outside my window. I still don't know what it was, but it scared me to literal death. And I just wanted you guys to see the look on my face when that happened, because Charles and I watched it back and we laughed really hard. So that's what this is. Okay, I still love you guys. Bye! Which is really gross. Really